Hello everyone, my name is Amy Todd. I'm a family nurse practitioner here in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I'm currently at my office downtown, Redeeming Health, and then I also do aesthetics called Work of Art Aesthetics. So I have wanted to get online for a while with starting some type of YouTube channel. I'm probably not the greatest at it, so just excuse me. But I think I'm going to start with this video. We're going to chat about semaglutide. Down the road, I definitely feel called and just to be more of a guide in terms of some more deep issues, emotional, spiritual. I've gone through a lot of big things, traumas in my life, and I feel it is part of my purpose to share some of those and hopefully be a guide and light to others. It's not easy. Life is not easy in general, and sometimes knowing, that people have gone through something similar or even have felt similar, even if we haven't gone through the same things, I think that is huge in terms of being able to get through our traumas, get through our difficulties, and be able to grow as a person in general. So this will just be the start, but down the road, be watching for things like that. So semaglutide is the same thing as Ozempic and Wegovy. These are simply brand names. Ozempic and Wegovy are not what the medication is actually called. Semaglutide is the actual molecule in those pens that you get from the pharmacy. So Ozempic is approved for type 2 diabetes. Wegovy is approved for weight loss. So we know that it works on not only our insulin stores, helping improve insulin resistance, and then also not putting as much sugars out in response to eating, but also it helps specifically on our ghrelin and leptin in our body, which can help reduce or stimulate hunger. And that is why we've had such great success with the semaglutide in terms of reducing those cravings, reducing that food noise that a lot of times is the key issue with people in losing weight. The beautiful thing about these medications that it's not only helping people lose weight, but it's obviously improving insulin issues such as diabetes. Not only that, but cardiovascular disease. Being on a certain amount of semaglutide for long enough has been shown to reduce cardiovascular risk by over 20%, which is pretty big, which is an awesome extra additive side effect. And then not only that, but addiction issues such as tobacco cessation and alcohol. So people that are, ex-smokers that have gained weight, this is probably a really good choice of medication because it might help reduce those cravings for nicotine as well. So just keeping that in mind. I know these are only a few of the things that semaglutide is now being studied for. So there are people coming out here, which I plan to take a course here shortly and potentially offer low dose semaglutide, which can be used for many different things. People, women who are going into menopause early, maybe, who need help with hormone regulation, eating. It helps with inflammation, people with psoriatic rheumatoid arthritis, things like that. Even just a very, very small dose once a week has helped remove pain in people. This is something that I plan to experiment with myself, and then hopefully down the road that I can offer low-dose semaglutide, to people as well. Right now, I obviously am doing it for weight loss. Lots and lots of people are on it. Lots and lots of people have had success, whether it be through here or neighborhood family clinics where I also practice. That is just only if your insurance covers it. Unfortunately, not many insurance covers it. I do offer it out of pocket for much less here at my practice called Redeeming Health. Have had lots of good success. So getting down to more of the meat in how to use the semaglutide, I'm just going to go through my basic spiel that I kind of give to people. So most common side effects you hear, of course, nausea, constipation. I always start very low and only increase by small increments, and I only keep people on the lowest effective dose. So I'm hoping, that side effects can be less that way, and then also when it's time to come off the medication, that we have an easier time coming off. And I do recommend always titrating slowly off the medication, as studies have shown that that does help maintain that weight loss so that we can normalize our bodies a little bit easier when we come off of the medication. And also in terms of using the medication, if you do tend towards constipation, or if you're already on it, I would recommend magnesium citrate in smaller amounts in the evening as a laxative. It is safe to take long term in small amounts, and then you can increase or decrease based off your bowel needs. Of course, I would encourage increasing fiber. I'm hammering protein, protein, protein. You know, there is a risk when we lose weight that we can also lose muscle mass. And I think that is probably the biggest concern now with semaglutide, especially when we get to higher doses. You know, some doctors are pushing the envelope in terms of like increasing their dose because, oh, maybe you're going to lose more weight. Well, maybe you might lose a pound or two more that month, but, you know, in terms of long-term success, you know, like I said, lowest effective dose. And then hopefully long term we can see, you know, better results and not go at a complete stall as quickly. So with that being said, you know, like I said, the protein I want to focus on a ton, incorporating weight bearing exercises, and it does reduce your appetite, but I always encourage all of my clients, you know, make sure you're staying, you know, up with your nutritional needs. You know, when you're eating, it's good, healthy food. If you can add a good multivitamin into the mix, I will soon here be offering some orthomolecular products to help aid in your liver support and energy support, and then support when you also come off of the medication, you know, so that we can be the healthiest possible while we do it, and also be able to maintain that weight loss when we come off of it. So, sorry if I'm bouncing around here. With the protein, I encourage people to eat smaller, more frequent meals. You do definitely get fuller faster, and you don't want to overeat because then you also might feel too, you know, full. You might feel sick that way. And then overeating, of course, is an issue, you know, and this medication helps minimize that anyways. And I do hope to see that, you know, people are on this long enough that, you know, 3 months, you know, you make a good habit, and hopefully then even if it's only 3 months and you're titrating down, that we've at least shrunk your stomach a little bit, that we've made habits and habits that we can keep. You know, that is why people ask, do you know, prescribe a diet or whatever? And the answer is no, because diets are not sustainable. I would rather have you make small changes over time that you can keep, because generally that can be maintainable, and then it's going to be up to you once you're off the medication, of course, to keep those habits in place. But, you know, that is just more realistic for long-term, you know, maintenance of weight loss. And like I said, then hopefully you can keep those habits in place once you're off the medication. So that is kind of the gist in terms of, you know, side effects, you know, how to use the medication. Most of us know it's probably once a week shots in the stomach, upper leg, or behind the arm. Some people, when you're titrating off, I also say, you know, whether you're going down in dose, that is fine, or even, you know, once we get onto a lower dose, is spacing out the medication, just that, you know, gradually, you know, reduce it in our body so that it's easier when we do come off. I do not recommend ever cold turkeying the medication, especially if you're at a high dose like 2.4 milligrams. You will feel a lot of hunger come back. You might feel, you know, weird and icky just because obviously you've had that in your system for some time. So as with anything, you know, we need to be reasonable in, you know, coming off the medication. So that is a little bit of a quick and dirty about semaglutide. I am excited soon to offer low-dose semaglutide in my offerings as well, and that will likely be in vial options, so that you can, you know, like 2.5 milligram or 5 milligram vial will last quite some time for you. Typically right now, I only do vials if people are on lower doses to maintain their weight loss, or if they do well on lower doses. I do offer pre-filled syringes at a month for monthly packages right now for people. And I'm always available to, if something crazy comes up, if you feel really sick, of course, I am there for you. So if you have any questions, shoot below. Hopefully I can answer them. Otherwise, thanks for listening. And this is just the first of many. Hopefully I'll be back on soon with something a little bit more deep, personal. We'll see. Otherwise, you guys have a great rest of your day. And thanks for listening.